Hey everybody, if you're watching the replay, hi, I'm glad to have you. And this live won't have any specific information, but if anybody in the chat asks anything, then we will chat about it. So there could be witchy information, or it could just be mostly tarot or other divination readings. But I'm going to give it a little bit to see if anybody hops in. Hey, I can see somebody hopped in. Not sure if my comments work yet or not, though. I think it's Serenity that hopped in, just by your profile picture, but can't tell yet. I was right, it is Serenity. Hey Serenity, thanks for joining. I can't see any comments yet, but finally popped up your name. Hey Jenny. Oh my gosh, I really hope Facebook lets me see my comments. That's going to be pretty inconvenient if it doesn't. Still give it a minute, see if it's gonna work. Come on, phone, give me comments. Going to head on an adventure to my computer just in case the comments don't show up. We shall see. Oh no! I think this is the first time my comments don't work. On a comment-based live. How convenient. That's okay. We'll do some relocating really quickly. We're gonna have a live in a new spot today then. We're gonna make my way to my craft room. Alright. Don't mind the moving around. Hey Haley. Currently, I don't think comments are working, so I am doing the grand relocate. Facebook thought it would be oh so nice and play some funny games with me today. Alright. Let's set up in this new spot. Alright. Welcome to my craft room. This is going to be the view. I'm going to walk away again in just a second so I can grab my table. But I am rapidly pulling up the comments. Hey, Carol. I'll be right back. Alright. I've returned with my table in a new location. So, I'll just explain what I have while I get Facebook pulled up. So, we will have the Lightseer's Tarot deck. And then I have this tarot deck as well. And then we have these regular deck of playing cards. And then I have two pendulums. I have this one, which is my chakra pendulum. And then I have this one, which is my fillable pendulum. And I have almost got Facebook pulled up, so that's good. Thanks for sticking around with me while I had to do a little running around. Sorry that Facebook decided to play some funny games on me. There we go. And now I can see comments once it finishes loading. I see that Carol said, hey, oh, I'll show you the shuffle again while I get my live to play. I have like the oldest computer in the world, I'm convinced. So. I can't always bridge though. Like, the bridge has to happen naturally. If I think about it, it don't work. Oh, look, see? I got it. It just takes me a second. My computer's being slow. The live's pulled up, but it's being weird. You see a cat, like, launch into my lap, don't be alarmed either. Carol said, can't do that. Jenny said, can't shuffle like that either. That's okay. It took me a while to be able to shuffle like this. Oh my gosh, I can finally see the comments. Serenity, you are beautiful too. So, hey to you. Serenity said that she can stay for a bit, then she has to run, unfortunately. That's okay. Sorry the first, 6 minutes was me running around like a crazy person. Hey, Jenny. Serenity said, I'm so jealous of how you shuffle. I have to do the awkward shuffle because I can't shuffle like that. Okay, so with my tarot cards, I don't shuffle them like this. I'm going to be honest. I did it one time where I shuffled them like this. And then they kind of bent. And then I was like, oh, that is sadness. So I never shuffled them like that. Again, I only shuffle these like that. Well, I can see everybody's comments now. So now if anybody wants to request a reading, I can do that. Thank you for the people that stuck around and bared with me. My phone is usually more cooperative. Thank you, Serenity. So I got that one. And then these ones, I do the awkward toss and shuffle. And then if I, really, really need to shuffle it, then I just, I do, the little awkward, put it in a couple different piles, mix it up, kind of shebang. Or I'll go at it like this. And sometimes this works good. Sometimes this works horrible. And then, 80 cards will fly out. I would love a reading. I've had a lot of BS this week. Do you just want a random little tarot reading, or do you want to do a yes or no with something? Let me get this deck out too. I do like the book on this one because, let me open up to a random page. On this one, they have this little quote, and sometimes I think the quotes work good, sometimes they don't. Funny not funny story, my birthday party was Friday and my hubby got me a stripper and now I have a rib injury. Sounds like Carol was having a good time. Whatever you feel drawn to, probably random tarot reading. Well, I felt drawn to this deck for you. So, I'll do that for you. Got papers leaking out. Well, I hope besides the rib injury, Carol, that you had a good birthday. I grabbed that card out because it flipped over directly, and sometimes I'll pull them out if they flip over. I didn't mean to pull 4 cards for you, but that's okay. So, for you, Jenny, I got the Ten of Pentacles upright, the Empress upright, the 8 of Cups upright, and the 3 of Pentacles horizontal. Hey, Elizabeth. So, I'm gonna, do a reading based off this, and then I'll check the book to see if there's any quotes that I like. So, I know that you said you've been dealing with a lot of BS, but you need to make sure that you try to protect your inner peace and know that you know what's going on, and you know the right thing, and any of that BS people are trying to pull over you, you just need to walk away. You know, walk away from that, head back towards your family and the people that are close to you that you know have your back. And then with this 3 of Pentacles in horizontal, you don't have to answer in chat, but is the bullshit that you're going through because you're trying to keep connections or ties, or you're putting up with the BS, maybe for the sake of your children, or maybe for the sake of like your people that are close to you family wise? Like, are you accepting and dealing with crap that you don't want to be dealing with, but you choose to deal with it to protect the peace, so to speak? Hey, Elizabeth. Let's see. Let me dive in with the book, make sure I'm on the right page. The quote for the 10 of Pentacles upright is, I am successful and I share my wealth with those that I love. Jenny said, yes, my grandson's mom and grandma. Okay, nice. I didn't even need the book. That's kind of, I feel, that's kind of what I was feeling, is I felt like you were, like, unsure with this card, like, unsure of how much of the bullshit to deal with, but still wanting to deal with the bullshit of it just for the sake of, like, your children and growing with your family. But I know that you know what's right and stuff like that, and then sometimes it is good to just pull away. They're being ridiculous and keeping me from my grandson. I expressed concerns about him, and that's exactly the shit that I'm dealing with. Elizabeth said, I'm hoping everyone is having a super day. Well, Elizabeth, I'm having a much better day now. All of you beautiful ladies are here with me. And Jenny, I'm sorry that you're going through shit like that. It's ridiculous. Let me go through and see these other quotes just to see if I can find any other good stuff in these quotes. This quote is, I am ready to give birth to abundance towards my rich future. And then the 8 of Cups quote is, I walk away from negativity and choose myself in a rebellious act of self-love. So sort of what I was talking about with this card is knowing when, like, to personally walk away from a situation. And I don't mean walk away, like, entirely. I mean just to know when to walk away because that conversation isn't getting you anywhere. And when people are being, like, bullheaded and stubborn and, like, you're coming at them with a voice of reason, being like, well, what about this? What about this? I'm trying to compromise. But they're like, no, just stuck really, like, aggressively in one way and not really, like, seeing anything. And then this card going, like, either way. The quote is, I step into the vibrations of a conscious collaboration. And I don't really like what the book says, but I like what I said about it. So I hope that maybe you got a little something from the reading. I would just say that this is a time to pull into yourself and maybe ground and meditate and really trust those mama bear instincts that you have, because I know that you know what's right. Jenny said, I appreciate the insight, though, because that's what I've done. Just retreat my home. My family's nothing I can understand about them. I do understand what you need from walking away from the situation. Yeah, because sometimes there's just not, like, really, that's not, like, helpful, but sometimes there's not really, like, advice that I could give with the situation because the situation's not your fault. You know what I mean? So nothing that you can really, let me turn this light on. Nothing that you can really do is gonna alter it besides, like, what you can control. You know what I mean? And you can control your own peace. And you can do that. You can control your own peace. I'm going to go ahead and do Serenities real quick because I saw Carol said that to have Serenity go first. She said, I would like one if you have time because I've been going through some stuff for a while trying to be positive. Okay, I'm going to use the same deck for you, Serenity. Let's clear real quick, though. Alright. Now you guys can really see how I do my readings. Alright. Let's go in there for Serenity. Serenity said she's been having a hard time, and I think she needs some of that healing energy. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Healing energy. You're welcome, Jenny. Alright. Serenity. Whoa. Okay, the 3 of Pentacles come upright. Is the first card for you, Serenity. It just flew into the floor. And it's perfectly upright, too. I'll grab it in just a second. Okay, I want that one. Okay, so the first card for Serenity is the Three of Pentacles upright. The next one is the Tower upright. And if you said you've been going through some stuff for a while, I'm going to kind of read as I pull. I'm going to think that with trying to protect the... Well, that's a lot of cards, okay. So with trying to protect the peace in your family and trying to cultivate like a positive family environment for growth and like abundance, maybe doing on that is where you fell in, had this like, I don't know. So let me gather my thoughts. So you maybe were working on trying to grow and like cultivate this like positive environment for like your children or your family, whether your family be you and your pets, you and your children, you yourself, you and your husband. And then while you were doing your best to cultivate this positive environment, something that you could not control came and caused a little like disruptance to your family. I really like the Tower card for this. And then let's dive into what we got going on over here. We also have the Fool in reverse, the Ten of Cups in upright, the Four of Wands in upright, and then the Knight of Cups over here. So after this unexpected event, it's a time to sort of like go about this new journey that you have. It's not a new journey. It's like the same thing you were working on, but maybe doing it a different way. And really just pulling into just you and your partner and just filling each other's cups and watching that happen and healing each other and just focusing on just your small family, sort of pulling in towards that. And then when you focus in on your small family, these other relationships that are on the outside will come more into fruition because you'll have been spending that time appreciating and loving yourself and filling your partner's cup and your cup because y'all are equally putting it in together, if that makes sense. So when you're making your own space happy and you're working on strengthening those immediate bonds, then anything that's negative or unsupporting of you is going to have to slowly work its way out because your energy is just too high for that bad shit to be around you. So let me dive into the book a little bit just to make sure I'm not completely in the wrong direction. That would be embarrassing. Let's see. So we did look at the Three of Pentacles, and upright, that's really is stepping into vibrations of this conscious collaboration, working on teamwork, and knowing that there's there's nothing can stop you when you're working together. And then the Tower, as we know, is that unexpected conflict. I don't know what the quote is for this book, though. I'll read the quote. The quote for the Tower is, "In chaos I move towards the brightest light." And then the Fool in reverse. What's the quote for that? The quote for the Fool is, I am ready for this adventure down my soul path. So, like I said, like you knowing the answer and you trusting what's inside of you. And then Ten of Cups. What's the quote for that? The quote for Ten of Cups is, "I live in a state of oneness by bringing harmony and love to my relationships." So yeah, sort of what I was talking about, like with your soulmate, bringing in that harmony on that new adventure, because you know what's up. The quote for the Four of Wands is, "I am devoted to my connectedness and I celebrate this wonder of loving bliss with my community." Like I said, that the space will get better. And then the last is the quote for the Knight of Cups is, "I'm in touch with my emotions." I just like reading the quotes. Serenity said, "LOL, I tell it to all my decks. Sometimes they just don't listen." Yeah, sometimes they're mean. And I really don't like it when they're like that. This makes complete sense, and this is exactly what's been happening, and it's tense to say the least with me and my husband. I'm sorry that it's been being tensed. I am glad that I picked up in the right direction. I would say that go about it a different way. We got this Fool in reverse card, so maybe take a step back, ground yourself, spend a little bit of time, even if your time is just, in the bathtub, or outside, spend that time just grounding and reconnecting and knowing the stuff that you've done and it's not working, and then just really honing in on the way that you know that you need to go. And it might not be the easiest way and it might not be the quickest way, but really pulling in and strengthening that, like, that inner relationship with your person, that will really help strengthen the other relationships around you by, like, the butterfly effect, so to speak. Just launched a card onto the ground. That is Serenity's reading. Let's see. I think she needs a huge hug, too. I would give you all a great hug if I could right now. Virtual hugs. Virtual hugs. Let's see. Hey, you haven't done mine yet. I'm sorry. I had to pop off. No, I had not done your reading yet. I just finished Serenity's, so that is good. I'm going to scroll back up. And let's see. Carol said, can I have a few cards wherever you feel pulled? I will just get you on the same deck that I've been using since I already got it. We're having a lot of hugs go around in the comments right now. So let me get this energy cleared off of Serenity, and I will pull hopefully just a couple cards for Carol. And then if anybody has any just real simple yes or no questions, I can do it with a pendulum or I can do it with regular playing cards. And then also if you have a yes or no question but you want me to go more in depth with, like, just rather than yes or no, I would use the playing cards rather than the pendulum, because the pendulum's just going to give you a pretty straight answer. Alright, so I'm going to pull a couple cards for Carol. What do we have to say to Carol? Be nice. Whoa! Oh my god, we're not saying that much. You need to rethink that. Alright, rethink whatever that message is and simplify that. We need, like, no more than 4 cards. No more than 4 cards. And if you guys don't think I talk to my deck like that when I'm doing reading, I do. I will get mad at it if it's not doing something. Alright. For Carol. Stop. Give me a few cards for Carol. There's one. Even just one more. Oh. So first card for Carol is I got the 6 of Swords. And then I got the Empress. And I'll just go with those 2 cards. I feel like that's good. Oh no, how many was that trying to come out? That was like 8 cards trying to come out. It had too much to say. I need a simplified version. Okay, so the 6 of Swords, before I read you the quotes, let me do the reading. So we got the 6 of Swords was the first one that came out. Let me get you a little view. And then the next one that came out was Reverse the Empress. So based on these cards, before I go into the book and read it, I'm going to say, have you been maybe struggling a little bit with spiritual confidence? Maybe you feel like you're pushing towards the right direction, but you keep getting, like, halted by maybe insecurities, maybe unsureness, little just unsteadiness while you're trying to head towards, like, this spiritual growth. And I think that these, like, insecurities or these doubts or these delays in your spiritual journey are sort of blocking some spiritual, like, abundance and spiritual message that's trying to come to you. And so how I would go about this is I would try to maybe do some affirmations for yourself and really boost how you are. Serenity, you can ask me 100 questions, by the way, hon, and I'd answer them. So you're good. You're so good. But I would try to meditate, Carol, and ground with yourself, and then try to do some affirmations and some self, like, maybe even like a self-healing bath to just, like, boost those insecurities away from you and know that you are on the right journey. And sometimes the waves will be a little rough for you to get there, but you'll still get there. And so let me go in. And that stops me from doing stuff because my head, I have a lot of heart stuff going on, and that stops me from doing stuff because my head is all over. I don't use this book enough to know where the things are. Okay. The Six of Swords is, I can easily help as I can accept help as I easily cross this transition. So allowing other people. If there's someone that's in your life right now, spiritually or physically, that is trying to help you along your journey, don't keep shutting them out. Let them in, because if you don't let them in to help you, you're going to experience that emotional overwhelm, and it's just going to be a lot that you don't have to carry, like, on your own. And the quote for this card in reverse is allowing abundance into your life. And so I feel like once you, emotional things going on, yeah. I was sensing that need for some emotional healing. Like I said, I would spend time meditating and grounding with yourself and maybe doing a healing bath or something. Let me go back into chat real quick. I did Carol's. Jenny said, I appreciate the insight into this because that's what I read that. Serenity said, I would like one. Oh, I read that. Well, I'm sorry if I'm being annoying, but yes or no question, would this be Athena reaching out to me? I'm gonna do your yes or no question with the playing cards, because I feel like that'd be fun, and you're not annoying. Yeah, if you hadn't requested a reading, I wouldn't have had the next one to do, so it was very needed. And I hope that the emotional healing starts helping a little bit with you, and I with you, Carol, and I hope that, I wish you some positive light and some positive energy. Alright, let's do a yes or no question for Serenity. Gandalf, stop it, buddy. Get down, bud. My cat keeps trying to crawl on my lap. Alright. Yes or no for Serenity. Is this Athena reaching out to her? Wow. Okay, first off, this doesn't usually happen, Serenity. Look at that balance that is going on. Like, okay, pop off with the synchronicities. If you do angel numbers, look at the angel numbers 444, please. I don't do angel numbers. I can't tell you off the top of my head what they mean. I don't actually ever usually get called to look at angel numbers either, but I am right now, so just keep that in your little pocket for something. Yeah, Elizabeth, put your yes, no comment in the chat. You guys can put as many as you want. If you've already got a reading, that's fine. I'll literally do you multiple. So let me dig into this a little bit more, Serenity. Initially, I'm getting a yes that it is Athena reaching out to you, but I want to dig into that a little bit more. There's a lot of, like, balance going on in your deck. I'm going to be so for real. Yeah, I'm going with yes. But there... Do you have... I think that, yes, you have Athena reaching out to you. But I also think one of your other guides is really trying to say something. I don't know what other guide it is. Not, like... I know that Athena's not a guide, but I think Athena is looking at... reaching out to you, but I think another one of your guides is really trying to tell you something. Serenity says she'll look it up real quick. Thank you. Elizabeth said, holy shit. I've never had one of these demo playing cards, and it's really crazy and cool. So I'm going to be so for real. I do not get that much balance that often when I do them. I do yes or no readings with these pretty often, and it's not that often I get that kind of balance, especially to have the two black cards on the outside, that one red one in the middle, and then it was balancing farther up. Like I had a red ace and a black ace, and that was doing good. Let's see. Elizabeth's yes, no, does or will my mom like my new relationship? Okay, I'm gonna do everybody's yes or no with these cards unless you type pendulum with your yes or no, and then I will use the pendulum. But I'm just gonna assume people want the cards unless they say. So 444 represents clarity and decisiveness. The fact that that came out with the synchronicity that it did too with the colors, like, dang. That was a reading that was definitely needed for you, Serenity, so totally not annoying. Like, I would so totally start trying to reach out to her. I definitely think that's her. Alright, so Elizabeth, does or will my mom like my new relationship? Yes, she does. I don't even have to dive into it more. I will, but she does. I'm sensing maybe she was a little hesitant about it at first. Maybe you've had some rocky relationships in your past and she was just worried. I don't think she had any reservations because of the person specifically. I think she was just worried and cared about you. But once she gets to know your partner and sees that you're in a good place, then yeah. Then I think she will. It also says that it's been trying to tell you what you've been preparing for is finally coming to fruition. Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. That actually ties along with a tarot reading that you got, Serenity. Maybe Athena coming in to work with you has something to do with the new path that you're working on in trying to, you know, increase that positive energy just within your space. Maybe that's why. I just introduced my mom to a new beau, and I can't tell if she liked him or not. That's what I'm saying, though. Maybe she's going to have some reservations in the beginning because she's worried about you. She's not being very forthcoming. Well, okay, I'm not a parent, but I would say maybe the reason she's not really saying what she thinks about him is because she hasn't really, you know, made up her mind. Maybe she has, like, some concerns because she's worried and cares about you. So she's just being a little, like, reserved until she can tell a little bit more. But I think once she gets to know him and then sees, like, your happiness increasing with your relationship, then I definitely think that she'll come around. All right, let me go back up. Carol, should I start making candles this year or next year, please? Okay, I'm going to do this reading for you, Carol. Oh, Lord, if I didn't actually have this conversation with you, this is going to be embarrassing, but I'm pretty sure I've done a reading for you about candle making before, and it talked about wanting you to slowly get into it, but not push yourself too much. I'm just straightening up the deck. The cards are flipped around. But it wanted you to get into making your candles because it'd be a nice way to calm yourself down and pull you towards your practice, but not to overwork yourself and overwhelm yourself by putting too much onto you. But I will still do the reading. Elizabeth said, yeah, I'm being whiny about it, LOL, and yep. Yeah, I think just give it some time. I think she's just worried because she's your mom. Okay, let me do this reading for Carol real quick and I'll hop back into chat. So, Carol making candles this year. Okay. So, as you can see, the Joker card is in here. That does play a role. And let me dig into this a little bit more. I think the reading just said the same thing I just said out loud. Yeah, it did. I think the same thing that I got from the last reading I gave you about this, that you should start doing it, but take it slow. Do not put any expectations on yourself. Don't put any deadlines on yourself. And if you're getting tired, allow yourself to take a break. But also, don't just sit there and doom scroll and do nothing. Maybe slowly work on making the candles. That's what the deck has to say. Let me check chat again real quick. Yes, Hannah, sorry I asked last time, but I just wanted to see if you knew when to. You're good. I'm surprised I remember that. I try my best to remember people's readings, but sometimes they stick in my head, sometimes they don't. I take it if it sticks in my head, then it's probably relevant. And I would think, Carol, that if you're having this emotional, like, hardship time, maybe the next time you're thinking about the candles, instead of just thinking about them, that's when I would do it. The next time that thought crosses into your mind, I would start doing it then. And you're welcome. Serenity said, yes, I absolutely agree with it being tied into it. Yeah, I really think so. Okay, I have 2 more, and then I'm done, I promise. Serenity, you're good, hon. I told you could ask me a bunch, and it's fine. Stop apologizing. You're okay. You're fabulous. You're awesome. You're great. Let me read Jenny's. I have a yes or no too. Ooh, Jenny gave me a couple. Like, you're all good. All right, we're gonna go into the first one. Will I have G this weekend. I'm going to assume that that has to do with the last reading that I just did for you. I could be wrong, but I'm just going to take a guess. Alrighty, let's see. I did the bridge for you guys once in the beginning. It's not going to let me be able to do it again. Oh, I didn't mean to flip that over. Okay. I'm going to say no. And I wish that you would. I wish that you would, but I'm going to say no. Can I ask this? You don't have to answer. But were you having, like, a really good time, like, bonding and hanging out with G, and, like, things were going good, and then did all that crazy shit happen in your family, and now you're trying to get back to that good, and it's just, like, not working? I could be wrong, but I'm just curious. But I got a no for seeing G this weekend. Let's see, the next question was, do I have a spiritual house guest lately? That's a good question. Let's see. Also, by the way, just in case anybody's curious. Oh, hey, Angie. I don't know if you're still in, but I finally got a message. This is obsidian right here. Then we have clear quartz and amethyst down here. Got 2 selenite sticks and wands over here. Got an amethyst cluster right here. And then got chunky rose quartz. They're there, yes, for the properties that the crystals have, but they're also there so that way this little cloth doesn't fly off into the floor, because that would be awkward. So, does Jenny have a spiritual house guest lately? No. Again? Whoa. That's a lot. So, maybe that you've been feeling some interesting energy, and that's why you asked if you have a spiritual house guest. But I'm going to say no, you don't have a spiritual house guest. But I do see that feeling of that different energy. And I think that the next question is going to be a yes. Am I missing any messages from my guides? I think that the energy that you're picking up that might be a spiritual house guest might be your guides screaming at you to try to get you to hear them. But let's see. We'll ask the cards. And then I'll check the chat, because you'll probably have types. I just wanted to get your 3 out of the way, just in case they went together. Oh, there we go. Alright. Any messages from Jenny's guides that she is missing? And that would be a big oh yes, there are messages from your guides that you are missing. It's a pretty predominant message, too. I think they've been trying to get it to you for a minute. I think that's what the energy was coming from that made you ask the second question. They're totally trying to tell you something. I'm gonna say this just because it's repeating in my head. You are right. You know what's best. It's always been like that. People don't change. But your ability to deal with people and your strength will continue to grow. And the energy will right itself. Even if it doesn't happen immediately, people will know the truth and people will know that you had the best intentions. And that was just a message that I was getting. I don't particularly know the situation, but I was just thinking that and I needed to share it. Alright, let me scroll down, check chat out again. Alright, Serenity said, I'm really bad about apologizing because it's just what I've always done. You're okay. I do the same thing, hon. I really do. I just want you to know that you don't have to apologize to me. Unless you call me a mean name, then you should apologize. But you don't have to apologize. You can ask as many questions. You're okay. Jenny said, yes, his name is Grayson, so we call him G. That's what I was thinking. Yes, I've had him every weekend since he was born. He's 2. I also knew I wouldn't. I also knew I wouldn't, so I appreciate it. So now I can make my own plans and not dwell. Got it. Thank you. And okay, I agree about my guides. I agree. Yep, my 3rd question popped into my head. And okay, thank you. I have goosebumps. Well, I'm glad that it all resonated so well. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little impressed with myself for picking up on that. How does one read yes or no questions with playing cards? Because I find it really badass how you're doing that. Serenity, I'm going to catch up on the questions in chat, and then I will give a demonstration. Let's see. Yes, sorry, last time. Yup. Sorry, by the way, for my little murmuring out loud. I was just checking to see what the last reading is. I think the next reading that comes up is yours, Serenity, so I'll just demonstrate with yours. Carol, ask as many as you want. Any of you ladies in chat, you can ask as many as you want. I will answer them. Jenny said, I am super impressed. Thank you. I really like doing these live chat readings because then I can practice my on the spot intuition, so to speak. Ugh, my computer's being so slow. Alright. Scrolling up to your questions, Serenity. Okay. She said, okay, I have just two more. First one is Medusa also trying to reach out? And the second is Aries trying to reach out? The reason for the deity question is because I've been seeing those three everywhere. Very particular. So, I'm gonna be so for real. Before I even pull the cards, what if each one of the 3 fours in the original question that you were asking was about the different deities reaching out? This is gonna be a stretch, so bear with me. So the 3 deities reaching out, 1, 2, 3 plus you would be 4, and there's the 3 cards of the 4, the 3 deities reaching out to you. And let me grab something. I'll be right back. It'll take me 2 seconds. Just kidding. It'd take me longer than 2 seconds. I don't remember where I put it. 4 is about... I have a book that says it, so I wanted to grab it, but I don't know where it is. I'll just try to do it from my memory. 4 is about balance and synchronicity and stuff like that. So I really feel like it's that. Okay, I'm going to do your reading now, but I really feel like it's that. Okay. Alright, so let me give you a demo. So clear out the energy from your cards, your normal shebang, and then you're going to want to shuffle them. You can shuffle however you shuffle. You don't have to be intimidated by shuffling. Like I said, I can only do the bridge occasionally. Sometimes it works. See, sometimes it doesn't. So, alright. So then I'm going to hold half the deck just so it's easier. I'll pull this way too, so you can get a full view. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right here, 8, 9, 10. You can read without the wild cards or without the jokers. That doesn't matter. You can add them if you want, you can add them if you don't. And then I will say, traditionally, black cards were no, because black was associated with negative and evil and bad. And red cards traditionally were good just because black was bad. I've never resonated with that. I've never liked that. When I look at black, I look at that like a positive, like a balanced state. And I look at red, like red flag, negative, bad. So I read with reds as no's and blacks as yes. But this is a great example. Couldn't have had a better pool. So for your first card about, is this Medusa trying to reach out? See how I have these 2 red cards, right? So some people could look at this and be like, oh, no, that's easy. But I have the Joker in the middle. And when I read with the Joker, I look at that as like very like uncertain, like some like wild energy. And how I deduce is I fly further into the reading. And so you can do this by having it to where you can do it traditionally, where you can look at what each card represents, or you can sort of do it with your own. And I think if you're reading yes or no's, then I like doing it with how it makes you, like how you feel about it, because that resonates more. So you can look at different suits for determining how strong or potent the yes or no is. You can also look at different, like, high cards, for example. That's another way. You can also look at the numbers. So if I have, like, for instance, I have this red 4 and this black 4, you could look at them like canceling each other out. So the looking into it more in depth, that would be a little harder for me to explain right off the bat, but that's the layout I do. I do 7 cards down, 3 cards up. And if I'm not doing an in-depth reading for someone, I will only read off of these 3 cards. But I like pulling into it because it helps give me a better answer. Because, like, for instance, if someone was to just look at this, they'd probably say, no, Medusa's probably not reaching out. But I see this card, and I'm digging into your reading, and I think Medusa's reaching out to you, but I think Medusa's message in reaching out to you is not coming so clearly because you have other messages flying at you. Oh my god, I bent the crap out of my card. Sorry. So I think Medusa's reaching out to you, but I think her message is getting kind of clouded. And I'll do your next reading in just a second. Let me scroll down and chat. Jenny said, I'm going to hop off. My lunch is almost over, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the confirmation today. You're so welcome, Jenny. I'm so glad that you could join, and I'm glad that I could answer your questions. All right. Let me go back up. Let me answer Serenity's next question. The next question is Aries trying to reach out? All right. Let's see what it says. Come on, cards. Is Aries trying to reach out? Oh, yeah. You know what's funny? The Joker literally shows up in every single one of Serenity's deity questions. Once again, this is saying, yes, that they're reaching out, but their message is muddled. So I think I'm going to fly into this with the pendulum for a second. This one's about Medusa. Straight up. Easy yes. Oh, wow. My phone finally gave me a comment. Carol said, sorry, mine's kind of too. You're all good. You're good. And then this one's about Aries. Another easy yes for Serenity. Let's go back to the Athena. Yeah. Okay, so they're reaching out to you, Serenity. But the problem is I think it's because there's a couple different people reaching out to you that people's messages are getting kind of muddled. So I think that you should set some, like, boundaries. Be like, hey, only this person reach out to me for a minute, so that way their messages aren't getting muddled when you're trying to reach out to them individually. Because I think so many people are just trying to, like, it's like a bunch of people are calling your phone at the exact same time, so your phone's not ringing, but it's like just lagging because you're getting all of these messages. So Benny said that's crazy that there are jokers in each one. That's what I'm saying. There's some playful energy. There's some interesting energy going on with these. Now my computer's being all goofy again. Okay. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Next reading is Carol, I'm pretty sure. Which is, you know something interesting, Serenity? There's only 2 Joker cards in this deck. There's not even 4. There's literally 2. So out of 54 cards, 2 of them just keep showing up. Okay, let's do Carol's. If it would stop moving. Is Freya still happy to be my main deity? Is Persephone or Aphrodite trying to reach out? Okay. So we're going to approach that with 3. So we're going to do the cards for if Freya is your main deity, and then we're going to do the other question with the pendulums. I think it's funny that now my phone's popping up comments. Just really had to be a brat. So this one's about Freya. Ooh, I got a big no. Oh my. Okay, so for this, I'm sensing that your connection started off just a little rocky, and then it was pretty strong going for a minute, and now there's a lot of bad going on. There's a lot of no going on right now. So maybe try to provide an offering. If you've been, asking for a lot but not giving a lot back in return, that could piss a deity off. Serenity said, I know I need to revamp some altars and I'm getting heavier in my ancestry and vampire magic, so I've been busy. I keep seeing 3 for a while. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is since you've got a lot going on, there's like that busy telephone line. I would say to, once you redo your spiritual space and you clean up, altars, maybe even just on your main altar, make a little pile for each one of those 3 and then connect to them at a time when you want to, rather than like a whole altar space, just a little spot for each one. So that way they know that you hear them, but maybe set some boundaries being like, hey, my business hours are closed between this and this time, and I, need like some space, or being like, I'm only reaching out to Medusa right now. I can't hear from anybody else. Carol said she was my main deity when I was going through my infertility journey, and she's really helped me and feel my family's position. Okay, so maybe if she was helping you go through that like hard time, like I said, and maybe she's just wanting you to feed a little bit of that energy back to her. So if she's been pulling a lot of bad from you and helping you a lot, maybe even if you don't want to provide like a physical offering, you could just sit down and have like a time of meditation where you provide thanks for her helping you and stuff along the way. Like if she's helped you as much as she said she has, then I would just take some time and provide some thanks. I didn't get from the message like, no, she doesn't want to be your deity anymore, but I feel like just repaying some of the generosity that she's been providing you, if that makes sense. Sorry, the cards are just pretty honest with how things are. Let's do... Alright. Where'd the question go? Persephone. Okay, well, I'm so sorry, by the way, if I'm saying that wrong. It's been a long time since I've heard someone say it out loud and I just read it. But Persephone, I'm getting a yes. And then let me give it a second. And then we're going to ask for Aphrodite. Funny enough, my Aphrodite, who's my cat, is down there laying down. Serena said, oh no, I'm going to be late to a doctor appointment, so I've got to hop off, but I'll watch the lesson replay. Thank you. Thank you again for your insight. Love you. Thank you so much, Serenity. Drive safely to your doctor's appointment. I will catch you in the replay. And I'm so glad that I could answer your questions. And then next I'm going to go Aphrodite. No, it's not Aphrodite. It is definitely Persephone that's reaching out to you. But Persephone is. She is. Not Aphrodite, though. Nice. Ooh, I finally caught up on all the questions. I know that I still have 2 of you ladies watching, I'm pretty sure. I know we got Carol here. I'm not sure who else is in besides Carol, but if anybody who's watching wants to ask any more questions, I will gladly answer them, or I could just do you a 1-card pull out of the tarot deck. Carol said, thank you. Yes, I thought she was. Yeah, she totally is. Let's see. Carol, I want to pull a card for you. I want to pull a card from her to you. I don't know why, but I'm just getting called. Who do you work with, Sarah, if you don't mind me asking? So, I'll answer right after I pull this. Okay, guess I'm pulling 3. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. So, Carol, with her working with you, it's telling you to try to let yourself spiritually walk away from some of the mundane baggage going on. What I mean by this is hardships that are in your mundane life definitely affect your spiritual, affect you spiritually. And we got this in reverse, just again, showing how it's affecting you spiritually. But when you separate a little bit from that, it will be a time to heal and really work through any of these things that you need to work through. And once you work through those things and then you're working with your deities, then you are going to have that rejuvenated spirit again. It's really going to help pull you up positively. Hey, Tasha. Oh my gosh, Carol. Sorry, I gave you major goosebumps. I don't know. I know you didn't request that reading, but I just really got told to give you that reading, so I just needed to. I needed to get the message out. It needed to be said. And then who do I work with? So, I don't work with any specific deities currently, but I do show my appreciation and gratitude towards any deities that make themselves known to me. I do have a Mother Earth, Gia, or Gaia, however you say it, statue in my bedroom, but I don't work with her in the traditional sense, so to speak. I sort of used her as like a representation of the motherly energy that the earth holds. So I don't work with any deities currently, like actively, but I do connect, call, and provide appreciation to them whenever I can do that. I was able to catch this live while in my kids' car line. I'm a beginner. I'm so glad that you're able to join. Would you like me to give you a reading, Tasha? I can give you a yes or no reading with a pendulum or with regular cards using cartomancy. Or I could give you a tarot reading. I have 2 different tarot decks here. I've just been picking whichever deck I feel called tarot-wise. But with the yes or no's, I let people pick if they want pendulum or the cards. Girl said, it's because I know all the BS with effects or not, but they're telling me it's time for a change. There's this major thing that's making me emotional. I can't get over it because I don't want to get over it. Well, that's the thing, is you're never going to get over something if you don't want to. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean that in a genuine way. If you don't want to move past something, Tasha, I'll do a tarot reading for you. If you don't want to work past something, then you're not going to. And it's okay to not have to work past through something instantly. You can allow yourself to sit and have like the feelings and go through the emotions, because you can't appreciate happiness without having sadness and without having anger and without having worry. But you also have to know, with allowing yourself to feel those feelings, you can't let it get too far. If you're feeling the feelings and then you reach a point where you're no longer feeling the feelings to appreciate them and you're just falling into the depressive slump, then even if you don't want to, you have to know when your spirit and your body has had enough and you have to pull yourself out. And that's why your tarot reading was telling you to lean on others. Try to not take everything on your own. And I know it's hard, and I know people don't want to put their crap on other people, but there's someone, spiritual or physical, that's reaching out to you, and they want to help. You just have to let them. But if you don't want to, then that's okay, but there will come a time when it is time to heal. Tasha, I'm just going to give you a little general card pull. Okay. Guess the cards want to come out already. So, guess we're going for it. I'll try to get one more. So, I only got 2. Carol said, yes, this is where I am. I'm sorry. I guess I'm connecting really well. That's good. Whoa. Okay. Guess we're having multiple cards. Okay, so Tasha, I didn't mean to pull you 5. Oh my god, 6 cards. Okay, we're going to go through this kind of quickly. Okay, so Tasha, what I'm getting from this card reading, this is intuitively, by the way. I'm not using the book. I'll check the book at the end. If I'm going the wrong direction, I will check the book. I feel maybe there's like a disconnect from like community, whether that be a close friendship or just person, people, just a disconnect from that community and connecting with other people. But I don't take this disconnect as a bad thing. I think you pulled yourself away from people or energy that was unserving of you, and it brought you, which was the Four of Wands, so sorry. The Four of Wands was pulling away from this negative energy and this, like, not good, that was like energetic vampires. And pulling yourself away has brought you into the Page of Wands, which is really renewing this childish and this energetic and magical spirit, beginning on your tarot journey, advancing on spiritually. The thing is, you have to make sure to not run at things too hard. Because if you run at things too hard, you can find yourself very isolated with the Ten of Swords. And then with that isolation, we go into the Seven of Cups, and the isolation can become very draining. And it could cause us like a pause in how much you are progressing. It could cause like delays and stillness with that emotional struggle. Because while yes, you don't want to have those negative people around you, but you can't be all alone, because that's not great either. And then I'm sensing this pulling away and this walking alone and maybe these negative emotions. We have the Lovers in reversed. So maybe after pulling away from the negative and then having that positive like energy, and then you started walking along your own journey, maybe it started becoming a little tasking, a little draining, maybe that caused energy within the Lovers, which would be either a personal relationship with another person or with yourself. And so either with another person or with yourself, I think removing all that negativity and then being alone and having that energy draining, I think you just became tired of the bullshit. I just think you didn't have any energy left to deal with bullshit. If you were going to cut bad people out of your life, and if you were going to work on making yourself great, and you're going to deal with that emotional tasking, then why the heck are you going to take some bullshit from somebody? And I think that leads us down to the Reverse Tower, which shows something changing, but not fully, if that makes sense. Like something growing, something adapting, getting better from that. So, like, this shows that chaotic energy of something changing. So, like, leaving this bad partner, because you've already left all the bad people in your life, and it made you better. And then you had that isolated period where it was very emotionally daunting. And now, why are you still taking the bullshit from this one person? You know what I mean? So that causes this change, but I don't think it was a bad change. Again, I think this change is good. And so it might be like a lot to go through, but just really just continuing just to sweep out that negativity is good. I've definitely isolated myself from my ex, toxic friends, and relationship. Okay, well, I'm definitely picking up while you're putting me down. Let me check the book out real quick, see if there's any quotes that are helpful. So let's see what the book has to say. The book's pretty much has to say what I had to say, I think. Let me check the Seven of Cups. Yeah. So I'm getting that it wasn't a quick process removing people. I think it was definitely like daunting and maybe a little scary to have to cut out so many people and so much stuff. It could even feel like you were having to like restart everything, and it could be really like stressful and like overwhelming to feel like farther along in your life you have to sort of restart everything. But sometimes restarting everything is much better than going down the shit train that it's on. You know what I mean? Tasha said that. This is spot on. Thank you. You're so welcome. I'm glad the reading resonated with you. Okay. Alright. Well, I'm caught up on readings. Tasha, do you have any yes or no questions that you want to hit at me? Carol, do you have any other questions? I said to the moon and the universe on Tuesday, please take the people who don't bring joy out of my life. I hope it listens and it takes that shit out of your life. I'm still dealing with the aftermath of pulling away too. And I can imagine that's going to be difficult. And I don't, not to sound like blunt, but I don't think it's gonna be like a clean cutoff. I think it's gonna, I don't know why I'm getting the message of string cheese, but there's like a lot of like little things that just pull down and it could happen. And just keep your guard up, keep your protections up, keep your strength up, and eventually you will be able to cut away all of those strings. It will just take time. I'm getting ready to drive. Okay, well, drive safe, hon. I hope to see you in the replay. All right, well, Carol, do you have anything else that you would like to ask me, or do you think that you're all good? So I think you're the last one here. Oh, just dropped like half the deck. If not, then I will wrap it up. I'm so glad that we had a lot of questions. This was good. I'll check back into chat, make sure I read everything. I'm pretty sure I did. Alright, well, I'm gonna shuffle up these decks, and then if anybody has any questions, they can go ahead and ask them, and then if there are no questions for a couple minutes, then I will hop off. Also, Carol, if you have any questions that aren't directly card related and they're just witchy chatter, you can say that too. It was so good, your readings really resonated. I'm really glad. Something I really like about these interactive lives is it gives me such a good chance to like hone in and work on my like intuition like on the spot. And I'm pretty confident with giving on-the-spot readings in person because it's a lot easier for me to pull from people's energy. And I am slowly getting a lot more confident with doing it over technology, but this is a great way to practice. I definitely enjoy it. Can I ask our time difference and what time would be time for a good reading for you later? It is 2:08 p.m. for me right now. I'm in Eastern Standard Time, and you can send the message to me whenever. I'm pretty good at checking my phone pretty quick. But yeah, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. 7:08 p.m. there. Are you... I don't know what time zone that would be. Are you in the time zone that starts with a P? 5 hours ahead. I'm trying to think of like which time zone that is. Can't remember. I used to for a little while. I was pretty good at doing time zones in my head, and I didn't practice it. Alright, well, that looks like everything. So I'm going to pack up, and then I think that will be it for this one. Thank you so much to everybody that joined me and asked so many wonderful questions. I hope that I can catch you guys next time. I can't wait to give everybody more readings. And like I said, I'm going to make sure to do one of these interactive lives where I do readings for people in chat at least once a month. And I know that eventually it will be both Shyanne and I on here doing readings. But until then, you just get my lovely face. You're so welcome, Carol. Thank you for sticking around the entire time. That's lots of fun. And then for everybody else that was here during the live and asked questions but is not here anymore, thank you so much for asking questions and being a part of the live. And never apologize for asking a bunch of questions. Without your questions, there wouldn't be the live, you know what I mean? So asking a bunch of questions is totally fine. And then if you are just here watching the replay, you are appreciated as well. And thank you to everybody who dealt with the little technical difficulties in the beginning. But that is going to be it for me. I cannot wait to see you next time. So bye, everyone.